What up, Fortnite family across the entire globe? Zeke here, joined by Cypher PK, who is going to drop some knowledge on us for week 5 of the fall skirmish. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling really good. This has been fun to watch, fun to commentate, and it's been good so far.
Yeah,
it's been good.
We've got a lot going on. If you're just tuning in, you missed the first 2 games. Shame on you. You missed out. Also, if you missed Europe, also shame on you. But we'll get you up to speed. Don't worry, we're here for you. So let's talk about the format. Every week we change things up. We're going with a crowd favorite Royale Flush. We'll be in that duos format, 6 games total. Big Royales are worth 3 points. Second and third are worth 2 points. And then fourth and fifth are worth 1 point.
Eliminations. 8 elims will get you 3. So far, no one has even gotten 6. So 6 will get you 2, and 4 and 5 will get you 1. And if you happen to win and get 8 eliminations, you're going to get the Royale Flush bonus, which is 2 points. And from the EU competition, we were close, but no one has it. Hopefully NA comes out and gives us our first Royale Flush.
That's right, and there's also the bonus prizing that goes hand in hand with the Royale Flush. If a duo gets a Royale Flush, that is 10K. That happens before placing Cypher. Don't forget as well.
Most elims.
Yeah, baby.
Will get you $25,000. And right now, the number to beat is 5. There's like 5 teams with 5 elims. So go out there and get more than 5 elims, guys. I promise it'll be worth your time, and you'll probably place really high and get a lot of money out of it. So do it. Yeah.
So just to set the bar, in Game 1 of Europe, in the games earlier, Tixi and Kinstar dropped 11 eliminations in the first game of the day. On the last game of the day, game number 6, we saw 2 duos, Madsen and Blackcell, Jamside and SSK. They also dropped 11 eliminations in the last game of the day. We had 3 teams tie for that 25K. So, NA, the bar is 11 eliminations. Okay, we need to rally up. Okay, we need to show Europe they can't be the best. We're also the best. We coexist, so get to it. With that, we'll also take a look at, I believe, the current standings heading into this game, just in case you're tuning in, you missed out. So Nate Hill and Symphony, man, they got themselves that victory out last game, and that's what edges them out over 72 hours in Liquid Chap. You talked about a lot, man, tiebreakers.
Yep.
And that victory out definitely helps them.
Same thing with Tempo and JMock. The reason they're on top of Bifo and Colton is because they won the first game. And that's gonna be very crucial down the line when you're neck and neck with another team or tied. So
yeah, and don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, it's only the top 10 teams that will place in the money. So right now, Clarify and Science TV, they're fighting with Triz and Vape Jesus for that 10th place spot. Now keep in mind, we've got 4 games left to play. Our players are boarding the battle bus as we speak. They're all getting their seats ready to go, thanking the bus driver. For you guys at home, that hashtag, don't forget to use it. Fall Skirmish. Let us know your thoughts. We loved having a conversation with you guys at home. We want to hear your thoughts. What do you like about the format? What don't you like? What do you wish we can see done differently? Rep your favorite clubs. You're a Bush Bandit. And obviously, let us know how Cypher has helped you level up your game. That is serious. So at Cypher, here's how you help me, ... whatever it is, at Sigma's Prime sent me. There you go. Oh, yeah, also follow him. If for some reason you live under a rock and you don't know who Cypher is, you're missing out, man. You need to do that. But we will hop into game number 3 on the day, Cypher. We're almost halfway through North America. These games are flying by.
This is where it's going to turn up. I think Nate Hill and Symphony kind of set the pace for some of these duos, and I want to see some other people kind of try to mimic their style of running and gunning together and securing those eliminations, especially in the late game.
Man, they were looking in rare form earlier, and then you hit the nail on the head. They just need to do that again.
This is a pretty tough battle bus for anybody landing on the south side of the map because it's starting near Greasy Grove and it's going straight up over Risky Reels. So if you're stretching over to Paradise Palms or any place in the desert, and there's a lot of teams that do like to land in the desert, you've got quite a bit of a ride to get there. You got to make sure your landing is proper and make sure that you spectate and see around you, like if there's anybody coming to contest your spot or nearby.
Yeah. I'll have to see if some teams even utilize Floating Island to make rotations. The Corrupted Zones, they've got these weird floating things close by, so you can use those vortexes as well.
I want to get on the Floating Island as soon as possible so we can watch round 3
of Nick
Mercs versus Aiden. It's going down right now. I see both of them landed there, I believe.
Now, who wins? So, first game was Nick Mercs. Second game was Aiden. I'm very curious to hop over and see what's going on. Aiden's still alive.
Aiden's teammate is already down, and actually, it wasn't Nick Merckx that showed up this time.
Wait, so
it was
they go somewhere
Typical
else?
Gamer and his partner, Exas, take down Ambruin and are now looking to take down Aiden, but Aiden takes down Typical Gamer's partner with a well-placed SMG spray, and he gets taken out. He does thirst him before going down. Securing that extra limb was vital. But, you know, he was really close on taking the both out.
So this is where Nick Merckx is and Hysteria. They are engaged with Nox and TSM Daquan. So Cypher, professional brain picking time. Who wins this fight and why?
I want to say that it's going to be won by Nox and TSM Daquan.
Yeah, interesting.
Just because Nick Merckx right now does not have a shotgun. That's typically his strong suit, is the close-range shotgun fights.
Yeah.
He does have the health and some materials, but Daquan and his partner have the high ground. So it's not looking too good in terms of weapons for Nick Merckx. He's getting sprayed from the high ground from Daquan. Now he's running low on mats, and Daquan is going to be pushing him, sees him coming down, knocks him, and is going to start looking for his partner.
Wow,
his partner
he was
is gonna,
ready with the punish, man.
Hysteria is running around underneath. He might slide down. If he does, it's going to be very risky.
Almost
down
takes
to the
down
last bit of health. Yep, that high ground was just too good. But it wasn't really just the high ground that dictated that. As soon as I saw that Nick Merckx didn't have a shotgun, it really, you know, his playstyle revolves around it a lot.
Yeah.
Not having that close range shotgun really put him back a little bit. So that's why Daquan and his partner Nox the Fox took him out.
And now we are here in Lucky Landing where Thieves and Alex Ace are just chilling, hanging out, stopping through. But Vape Jesus and his teammate not that far away.
Both Aiden and Nick out of the fight very early. You know they're going to be partnering together for the TwitchCon finale, right?
I cannot wait. Name a more iconic duo than Ghost Aiden and Nick Merckx. I will wait. Hashtag Fall Skirmish. Tweet at us. We'd love to hear your thoughts. With that being said, though, Grand Pooh Bear, Ranger, lonely launch here now against the likes of Creo and Zexro. Listen, raid bosses, okay? Just walk by. You don't need to do this. We can fight another day. Creo, though, is closing in. And Pooh Bear looks like he is down, and Ranger goes down as well.
Creo and Zexro did a really good job last game. I think they were one of the teams that went down with 5 eliminations, and they're already starting off with a quick 2-piece. So that's going to give them some momentum to carry on, and hopefully they'll be one of the teams that show out and do a lot of limbs for their 3rd game.
That's right. Over Greasy Grove, man. Outlive is by himself. Yo-Yo Keep It Up has been taken down. And Nick A30 just continuing to apply pressure. Now he does have the quad launcher, and he's got 3 clingers. I mean, he's
got a lot of health, and I think Nick Merckx does not realize yet how much health he has. He might assume that he's weak, and I know it's a 2v1 situation, so they are going to be putting a lot of pressure, but they do have to be careful. We've seen what the quad launcher is capable of doing to a team that is unsuspecting of it. So outlit. Will he be able to outlive Nick A30 and Bewitching Gamer with that quad launcher? They're going to slowly start working their way down, just breaking down this house, getting some materials in the process so they're not just idle sitting there. Good teams will always try to be doing something to gain more materials or to give themselves a better competitive advantage while they're waiting for some action.
Speaking of action, man, over to Reverse 2K, who's currently engaged right now in a little bit of a skirmish with 100 Thieves Kenneth.
And his partner does not have any shields, but he has not been tagged quite yet. Just got tagged and goes down from Kenneth. Now Kenneth knows it's a 1v2. Parallax and Kenneth are going to take down Wheats. Reverse 2K holding the high ground, but is getting shot down from Kenneth. While Parallax pushes from the top. It's looking pretty grim right now. Reverse goes down.
Parallax.
Not before landing some serious damage on both Kenneth and Parallax. It was a good attempt. Kenneth is down to no materials remaining. This is one of the downsides of going for those early fights is you kind of walk out with very little mats, and the circle is not favoring them. They have a long rotation out of, just east of Snobby Shores. Outlive now has the high ground and is using the quad launcher to put some pressure on Nick A30.
So Nick A30 has already used 2 Splodes. I don't think we've seen the quad launcher just yet. Outlet still just taking his time. I mean, this engagement, there's kind of like a time factor goes in. How long are we spending in it on this engagement? Is it worth it at that point?
It's not worth it. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think Nick A30 and his partner are taking too long to take out this opponent. The storm is closing in. He does get hit right here. He's taking out the quad launcher, hits them both before going down. Now, he doesn't get any limbs, but he takes off their shields, and this is not a good look for Nick A30 and his partner. They do have 4 limbs now, so they did secure a point, and that at least was worth it. But in terms of the long-term effect of what it's going to do to their game, they have low materials, they don't have shields, and now they have the storm pushing them, and they have to go past 50 shots before they're in the safe zone. So I wish I had seen them take out that opponent a little bit quicker. They were playing safe, and that's smart, but sometimes you might play a little too safe, and it ends up biting you.
That's right. And now we got over to Strafe, and Joseph is cute. They're within the circle right now. They're having a good old time. We've got just another 40 seconds here before the storm overtakes all the area outside of the safe zone. We get a new safe zone. Quad crasher. I almost said quad launcher. All right, okay. All right, so now here's the thing. Here's the thing. We need to see some boosts. Okay, hit a ramp and boost and use it to fly around.
Here we go.
There it is. Catch some air.
It's a little weak. We can get better than that, fellas. Come on.
Oh.
Okay, so pay attention to how they break this this little hut down. Look at how many different pieces there are to this thing and how much brick they can get out of it. So not just the walls and the corners, but you'll look at the floor right here. They can break the edges of the floor, and it's even hard to see, but look, they can break the edges of the floor, and little corner pieces as well are separate brick materials. You can get so much brick off of one hut.
Now the world knows the secret.
Let's see some quad.
All right, guys, come on. Boost. There. Okay.
I think these guys are smart enough they're playing it smart. They're not trying to do anything crazy. He does have the sniper in his hands, so... And then there is the crater up ahead. Do you think they'll take the crater and go for maybe...
for it?
I mean, I've seen some crazy things in a pub game.
All right, let's go. They're heading right toward it. Come on, crater. Yes. Come on.
Do it.
Don't be scared.
They're going to abandon it for... They actually sent it flying through the crater. Look at it.
Look at it go. It's gone now.
You know...
That's okay.
They're competitive players, and they want to do what's the safest thing right now. And I think flying across the map with a quad crasher is not the safest move. We saw it go down in the EU games. It didn't really look that pretty.
That's all right, though. They've got the bounce of the Shadow Stones. Keep up the momentum. Bunny hop their way to safety. I'm sad, but I'm happy for them.
Creo and his partner putting a lot of pressure on Raise Fire. Raise Fire is weak, does not have any health or shields remaining.
2 nades go down.
He's got to be careful not to knock himself. Kayun getting hit. They know both of them now have white health, no shields remaining. The nades are coming in. Kayun's going to disengage and go away from the backside. He's got to be careful. Kayun's right behind him. Now him and his partner. Oh, Kayun edits a window and one-shots LG Creo with a pump shotgun and now takes the high ground. He might be able to turn this fight around. He lands another good hit. He has a med kit that he's going to pop. He will get it off, but at what cost? Will Zextro be able to pick up Creo, or will Kayun pop the med kit and rush them before he can pick him up?
He's going to do that.
He's rushing him right now with the nades. He's going to go ahead and shoot down the roof. The res was not complete, and now Creo is down. Raise Fire is still up. Ghost Kayun. I can't believe it. What an insane pump shot on Creo.
And he's a Bush Bandit.
And now Raise Fire is still up. Zexro gets hit with the explode!
Oh, no way!
What a well-placed nade from Kayun. Insanely well played. Down to a 1v2 against 2 really good players who had 5 limbs last game. So they're not guys that you can just push around. And he ends up 1v2ing them while his partner's down. And he saves his partner and picks him up. They're still in this. What an extremely well-played performance from Kayun.
Bush Bandits rejoice. The dream continues to live on, and now we're over to Tfue. And you talked about it, man. Look at the hut. It's breaking down.
He's got to be careful. I think he's breaking the walls down. He's getting them down to 50 health, right? That way he doesn't expose himself while he's in here, and he can farm in peace. Now, however, it is going to be a little bit harder to farm the edges without exposing himself, so he might just opt out of that. He's getting pressed right now. Once he was opened up, people saw him, so he's going to have to disengage. But he did get a fair amount of brick before doing that. Unfortunately, he's going to have to use a lot of wood here to stay alive. He's getting shot from the north and the south. He can't be too happy about that. However, luckily for him, he has 3 big shields. so he will be able to get back up to full health. So that didn't pay off. He was trying to get some extra brick. He ended up actually spending 400 wood instead in return for some brick.
That's rough. That's rough. But it's, you talked about him, man. He's got the half shields. It's okay. He's going to top back off. But now they've used those resources, and he's down in materials he can't use to build. I mean, they're completely surrounded. Look at the top right of your minimap right now. Just duos everywhere. We're still at 75 players in the current lobby.
Nate Hill and Symphony close to Tfue and Closey. Two really deadly duos. So far, Nate Hill and Symphony have shown that they are forced to be reckoned with, and they're very deadly.
Hesse, not that far away from them, has a gold grenade, so they need to be super careful with that because they could just start firing these grenade launchers over and bring... Look how much... It's not held up by barely anything. One little half wall down below. That's actually all...
Yeah, there's not a lot holding that up. Fortunately for them, they're about 4 stories high. They won't... 5 stories high. They won't take too much fall damage. They can actually catch themselves, most likely. But, you know, another team that sees that might see that as a weakness. They might see it as maybe these guys don't have a lot of mats. That's why they're sitting here in this, like, really open... very vulnerable, and actually getting shot down.
They're shooting that wall.
Another team, they can recognize that, and they see that. They don't just see it as a weak force or a weak fortress. They see it as you not having enough materials.
Yeah.
So they're going to challenge your material count, and if you can't show them that you have enough materials, they'll keep pressuring you until they defeat you. And there they go. They're going down.
Oh, he caught himself.
He caught himself, just like I said. But he's going to go down. They're going to like rebuild this up. So maybe now the other team will be like, okay, they rebuilt, they probably do have the materials, and they'll probably leave them alone.
That's good, though.
And Kevin will probably leave
you get them to burn some of their mats, right? So
yep.
Not terrible for just a few rounds there.
Definitely, the ammo is worth a lot less than the materials.
Yeah.
So even if you spend like 30, 50, 100 ammo of your AR to take down 100 or 200 of their mats, it's worth the trade if you end up coming out on top.
That's right. Now Tfue and Cloak are up top. They're doing their best to maintain. I mean, their loadouts all in all pretty good. You've got 125 rounds in the AR, half shields as well. But just look how many people are all around them. They're still, look at this, typical gamer still alive by himself next to EU Ashton and EU Jack. And now, I don't know how we're fitting 74 people into this current safe zone. But we're starting to push these players together. And we're going to start to see this lobby thin out very quickly. I mean, look, Nate Hill and Symphony, not that far up the hill. Baldy, Hogman, not far as well. Hesse, don't forget, Hesse's got that gold grenade launcher. So once we start to get into things, he's going to have explodes ready to go.
Still a lot of players alive. And I can see some action coming in very soon, hopefully, as the circle starts to close.
I mean, look at Cowboy says by Mats, 9-6-5. 9 about to be 7. Launchpad as well. Man, he's really good to go right now. 50 seconds before this area is engulfed by the storm. Now we're over to HD and FaZe Yellow on the south side of the map right now. They're looking okay. Look, Ninja and Monster still alive as well.
It's good to see fellow Bush Bandits sitting on the high ground and healthy with shields.
Yeah, hunting rifle as well.
They've got 0 limbs, unfortunately, but they do have a good position here. Ninja is holding the hunting rifle, and he's very notorious for being very accurate with hunting rifles and sniper rifles. So I want to see him put on a show with these shots here. Hopefully land a few headshots and secure some limbs. There we go.
Close.
Him and his partner, Monster, will probably put some fire down on these guys. He noticed somebody was down. He thirsted him. It does not count as an limb because somebody else had knocked him.
Right.
But he does thirst him.
Trying to just create a little space, trying to shoot a little bit of that tree.
And look, they're actually getting hit with a Klinger from FaZe Yellow and High Distortion. That's not really going to do much. They will rebuild very quickly, but now they are aware of High Distortion and Yellow's positioning right beneath them. The circle is actually not too far away. Nick 830 is being pressured right now.
But he trades with one. Can he trade the second one? Nick 830!
Edit from Nick 830. Cutting that stairs in half and then dropping down on his opponent. His opponent did not expect him to do that. He probably thought he was trying to get away or that he was low health. Secures 2 elims. Needs 1 more to secure a point.
Wow, unbelievable. Changing that whole situation around. And honestly, he's still fine.
I don't think Ninja and Monster are going to let him go.
They
know he's there.
In on him.
Unless he has a way to rotate, it's going to be very tough for Nick30. He does have a quad launcher. I don't know how much ammo he has in it, but they know he's there. They know one person's down there. They know he's maybe even weak. They're assuming that he's weak because he just finished fighting. He's not that weak. He has 50 shields and 100 health. But this is the gatekeeping. You see the circles right on their back. They don't really have to even rotate too far off. They can just extend their build a little bit, and they'll still be in the safe zone. And that's a perfectly viable strategy for them. Nick A30, will you be able to escape from this gatekeeping from Ninja and Monster? Does he have the materials?
I feel like at this point you edit a window and you start quad launching.
No, he just needs, he needs to build roofs like this. He needs, yeah, this is exactly what he needs to do. He needs to hope that he can get close enough. The further he is underneath them, the more they have to peek and expose themselves to get shots off. And what happens then is other people might potentially start shooting at them. Nick A30 actually has a lot of materials, so he'll be able to do this. If he can maintain this, he'll be able to get into the circle. And he's now in the circle. And he's in a little 1-by-1, but I wouldn't be surprised if he starts extending even further so that it's harder for other opponents to spray him down.
Yeah, also,
really well played by Nick A30. He's had to spend a lot of materials to do that. He probably burned through almost 1,000 wood, but he's now still alive, and he's 1 limb away from securing a point for his team.
Dude, this could be huge.
King Richard and Cease both grabbing some limbs in the kill feed. Kayun still alive after that clutch performance from earlier. His partner is still weak, but he's got some bandages. I wonder if he's going to share some with his partner, and his partner has some minis as well. Poach and Vivid! That's a duo you hate to see alive this late in the game. At least I don't hate to see it, but the other guys in there might hate to see it. They've got 1 elim, and they've got enough materials to make these late game rotations. And they also have a grappler. At least Poach does. So he should be able to rotate if he gets stuck.
I mean, he's also got the double barrel, right? If he can get in someone's face.
Poach loves the double barrel. When the double barrel first came out, he was one of the early adapters of just using it. And a lot of people thought initially that it was a very weak gun, but they just weren't using it that well, and you have to be really in somebody's face. And Poach's playstyle kind of revolves getting in people's faces in these 1-by-1s. So he definitely feels very comfortable holding that double barrel, and I'm excited to see him use it in this late game.
Burning through Matt, Cypher, he's not got much left. Ninja and Monster looking to make rotations.
Look, they're not even using any mats. They're just being very, very sparing with their mats, and they're using other builds to go through. They actually spotted somebody, and Ninja's going to throw a pyramid up, potentially blocking him. No, he doesn't. He's going to disengage from that fight, going extreme low ground, and just slipping through these builds. Monster, however, was not fortunate enough to go unnoticed. He is very weak right now. I wonder if he'll be able to meet up with Ninja and grab that med kit off of him. Monster goes down.
Nick A30 still alive.
Nick A30 took him down and thirsted him. He's got 73 health left. He's got minis. That is so crazy that Ninja and Monster were holding Nick A30 up against the storm, and they tried to eliminate him earlier, and now he's the reason that Monster is eliminated. Very unfortunate that they let him slip away. But that's the way of the road.
That's the way of the road, and that was the 4th elimination he needed. That's a point for him and his duo on the board.
He really needs to get these minis off.
They're gonna do everything they can to not let him.
I mean, he's not really being pressured right now too much, but I think he's trying to be very safe before he pops them. He's stuck in a pyramid. Is he going down against somebody? Yeah, he is. He spots somebody, hits him for 80, and finishes him off. Nick A30 securing 5 limbs. And he eliminated Kayun of all people. And now he's going to pop that mini. Okay, you know, I was surprised that he didn't pop it earlier. It was very risky, but it paid off.
Yeah.
That's a risk reward. He was looking for that elim. He might have known somebody was nearby, somebody was weak. Now he's got 5 elims. Nick A30's looking very solid. Look at his material count. He can make these rotations. He needs to get 1 more, and he knows that. So he's looking for the shots. Gets tagged a few times. loses his shield, but he's going to go ahead and pop his last 2 minis. The Storm is closing quickly, so he only had time to pop one. Gets a double barrel against Tfue and Cloak, but does not finish them off, but makes them extremely weak. He's got 1 more mini to pop. Now he has to get out of here before the Storm takes him down. Drops off the side.
Oh, the Storm takes for damage there. He hasn't even reloaded his double barrel yet.
He has not reloaded it, and he knows that. He knows that his time is coming to an end here if he does not make it into the circle. And even if he does, he's not looking too high in terms of health. So this might be bad. If he doesn't make it through, takes a little bit more Storm damage. The circle's almost done moving. Don't block yourself off.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, gets killed.
It was Snood. Snood finds him and takes him down.
And EU Jack took out Ninja as well in that exchange. Nick30 1 elim away from getting that second point. That's very unfortunate. He was so close to getting it, but nearly taking out Tfue and Cloak. He might even be the reason that they go down. They're still alive right now. But nope, they both actually just got eliminated. Tfue and Cloak both just got eliminated, and you can credit Nick30's double barrel shots for that one.
Liquid Vivid can't stand their own stink. He just stink bombed himself. Unfortunately, that's not the way you want to go. That is not the way of the road.
JMock and Tempo looking to get maybe their second Victory Royale win. They do have the resources right now and the health to do it. They just gotta maintain these rotations and avoid any fights. Ooh. Cell's getting pressured. Left and right, he's surrounded right now. The circle is gonna engulf both of these guys. Space Lion, they're in the Storm. Will they be able to get out? Bizzle alive by himself with a quad launcher, only 3 shots. And no health besides a little bit of shield and 100 health. Oh, he actually did pop a slurp. You can see his health ticking up a little bit. So the longer he stays alive, the more bulky he will be. He's got the quad launcher.
Oh, they took fall damage.
He didn't follow up on that. He didn't follow. There we go, another shot to knock some people down. A third shot. That one wasn't as effective. I bet he wishes those were some elims right there.
Yeah, they need eliminations right now.
He needs elims. He only has 40 wood, so he needs to eliminate somebody and take their resources. He needs to steal their resources. So he's going to be looking for somebody who's dropping down or looks a little bit more vulnerable than the rest to try to get those resources. There we go. 2 shots. 1 more shot from that AR, and he's going to get that elim. He doesn't have any more shots in his quad launcher. There's the knock. He needs to thirst.
School. His teammate. And look, rockets drop.
Rockets drop. Materials. Was it enough? 120 wood. I mean, anything is
better
useful.
Than 0.
Yes.
Yeah.
But 6 quad launcher shots. Will Bizzle be able to go off with these quad launchers? He accidentally quad launched himself. Someone built a wall right in front of him as he shot. That's not a good look.
15 players left in the game. There's a lot of action all happening in one tight little confined space.
Looking for that shot. Has 11 health. If he gets ticked by the Storm, he will go down. Nade right in front of him. His teammate, Snood, takes him out.
Oh, man, but then Tempo finds a explode on Snood.
Like I said earlier, Tempo and JMock, they're looking pretty solid right now. But NRG Zate is on the top with a campfire. I think Zate might take this home. There's a lot of people with campfires, but the only person who's uncontested is NRG Zate. Everybody else is kind of near each other. It is going to come down to whoever gets the best medkit timing, and if they have maybe campfires to accompany it.
72
but my guess is it's going to be NRG Zate winning this because Tempo only has bandages. NRG Zate popped the medkit, and now he's going to try to push some people. Animal has more health than him, but
oh no!
He fell to his death.
Oh no!
To be fair, for him, Animal was going to win regardless. Animal had more health, so if he didn't find Animal, which didn't look like he was going to, he would have lost anyways.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. But you can see in the replay here, Animal has just slightly more health.
Yeah.
I think it's because he's standing on top of a campfire. I believe it's on top of a campfire. I could be mistaken. No, he's not on top of a campfire, but he did have
more health.
Just a little bit more health than him.
Yeah, so he definitely would have come out on top either way. So again, we see a heal off. What do you think?
I think you guys, the NA guys, are playing a lot more passive, and still we didn't see anybody get more than 5. Nick30 almost got the 6 elim.
He was close.
Oh, you know what? Excels and his partner had 6 limbs.
6 limbs. That's the new record.
New record.
6.
Only 6. That's 3 teams, guys. Listen.
That's crazy.
If you want to make $25,000, and I'm not going to ask for a split, go out there and get more than 6 limbs. Just give it all you got. You got 3 games to go all out. Do it. If you play too safe, I don't think it pays off that much. We've seen some teams play safe and they end up falling behind, or you've seen people make it to the end almost every game with maybe 1 or 2 limbs and then not even get top 5. It's not worth the risk. I think taking that initial risk of going for those early limbs is what's going to secure you the $25,000. And I'm only asking for 10% of the cut.
There you go.
I've upgraded 10% because I'm giving you guys advice now, and it's just, it's not free.
There you go, 10% of the cut. That's a great point, though, man. Again, 6 is the highest elimination count coming out of NA. 11 was the highest elimination count coming out of Europe. I agree. I feel like NA's maybe playing a little too passively. In Game 2, we saw an explosive start, explosive end. Here in Game 3, again, they slowed things down. And I'm kind of curious as to why. We'll run some of the highlights coming out of this last game. There was action to be had, but, I mean, Cypher, I think they just need to pick it up. You're so right on this. I mean, it's 25K for most eliminations. That's basically saying before placements happen, I hit 4th. Think about that.
I think some people, they go into it and they're playing Fortnite or they're playing in that scrim mentality, but they're not necessarily focusing on the Royale Flush playlist, like the limb bonus and the extra money that can be made from getting the most limbs. Because when you're playing, you're just so focused on this is Fortnite, But there's like extra rules outside of that, which is, the structure of the tournament, that you also have to keep in mind and have that, influence your play style. We saw that happen with EU. EU started off slow, and then they realized, hey, the teams that are getting the most points right now are the teams that are going out and getting those limbs. And you really just need 1 point per game, And if you can consistently get 4 limbs, get yourself on the board, you'll come out in the top 5, most likely.
For sure. Especially, I mean, we still haven't seen a Royale Flush. That's 8 eliminations and a Victor Royale. We haven't seen that yet. Not even Europe has done it, and NA still hasn't done it either. So that's 10K that's just also just sitting there. So if they could do both.
Do you think that the teams are so stacked right now, the talent pool is so stacked, that it's just so hard to get those limbs? Because I do feel like in terms of teams that we've seen in previous skirmishes, this is one of the most stacked tournaments in terms of people playing with people that they're comfortable with, and just professional players playing together. There's not a lot of room for error, and every fight is like a fight to the death. We've seen people, get into a 2v2 engagement, and, it's a 1v2 situation, and then K-Yoon comes out and destroys the other 2 guys who were looking like Zexro and Creo. They already had 2 limbs. They were looking to get their 4th limb by taking out K-Yoon, and they ended up, getting beat 1v2. Maybe the talent is just so high in this tournament right now that it's just very hard to compete against these guys, and it's very risky to go for those fights, and people are realizing that.
That's a great point, my friend. I think it's a little bit of that. I mean, here's the thing, right? At the end of the day, there can only be 1 Victor. Sure. Talent pool, that's a great point. There's a lot of talent. But I think the biggest thing, man, is we're just seeing too much passive play. We're seeing these lobbies come down to, 4th to last circle with like 60-plus players. And EU wasn't that case. We were down to closer to 40. But as the lobbies, as the circles continue to close, we see that thin out. And right now, it's just everyone's doing their best to just try and stay alive. They're just trying to make it to top 5. But you made a great point. Those eliminations, man, that's huge. That's, if you get the most eliminations, an entire incentive is get the most. And the most in NA is 6. It's not that high, and it's not that hard to beat.
Yep.
Especially if someone drops a Royale Flush, Victor Royale, 8 eliminations, that's it. They're going to get 10K from that and 25K.
Right Once we take a look at the standings, you'll notice that there's not a lot of points on the board. So even somebody who has 0 points right now, they have 1 good game. Here's the standings. 5 points for Tempo and JMock.
Yep.
They got 2 extra points this game. I believe they finished 2nd or 3rd. They must have made it to the top 5 and maybe had 4 limbs to get those 2 extra points because they had 3 points prior to this. But 5-5, 4-4, a team with 0 points can come out and just get 6 points just like that, or 5 points just like that, and just jump up to the top. It's very easy. Well, it's not easy, but it's very easy for somebody to come back if they have a good game.
Yeah. even if you just drop a victory royale, right? That puts you in 7th place. That's if you didn't place better than Ghost and Dong did. I mean, the points are very, very close here. They're much closer here than they are in EU, which is very interesting. And I think it just goes back to what you were talking about, the talent pool. Everyone, all these duos are stacked, and everyone is playing the best that they can. There's also just a tiny hint of passive play. And I'm hoping in the next game we see that shift again. We saw in game 2, everyone went just full send, and it was a completely different result. We did go to a heal off, but there was a lot more eliminations happen across the game itself. So all I want in A is a Royale flush. That's all I'm looking for. And obviously a 10% to Cypher for giving his insight.
It's now 20%.
It's dead.
So every round it doesn't happen, it's just going to increase the percentage.
There you go.
Yeah.
The more insight he gives you, the higher the percentage. With that, don't forget to use that hashtag, Fall Skirmish. We love hearing what you guys have to say. What are you thinking about the game so far? What would you like to see? What would you like to see done differently? And obviously talk about Cypher. If you're not following him, again, you need to do that. And obviously rep your favorite club. We're here in week 5, 1 week left before TwitchCon, and trials happening next week. How many more games do we have left to play? That was game 3. Was that game 4? That was 3.
That was game 3.
That was 3. So now we're in game number 4.
Game 4 is loading up right now.
These games.